We are very pleased to have a New Yorker with us and someone who has done anything and everything in the theater, from being a theater critic to being a publisher to an actor, a mime, a producer. He is currently also a theater owner. He is the owner and proprietor of the Richmond Shepard Theater off Broadway, and he's also the co-publisher of Performing Arts Insider, one of the sponsors of this Tony special. Richmond Shepard on the phone with us. Hey, Richmond, how are you?
I'm good. We're all looking forward to see who loses tomorrow.
Okay. Well, let's start with the categories that we'll be talking about. One of them is for choreography, which I think is a pretty exciting category this year. You've got How to Succeed, Rob Ashford, Anything Goes, Kathleen Marshall, also Casey Nicolau for the Book of Mormon, and Susan Stroman for the Scottsboro Boys. Richmond, take it away.
There's some good choreography going on. I think the inspiration behind a lot of the good choreography was Susan Stroman, who did the producers in a number of other shows. It's between two shows. It's between Anything Goes and How to Succeed, I think. Mm-hmm. For me, the choreography in How to Succeed is some of the best I've ever seen. It's all based on athletic activity. And it's my choice. It just took choreography to a tangential place, and it's just very exciting.
I'm so glad
Anything Goes is going to win.
Yeah. No, I'm so glad you're saying that, Richmond, because I totally agree with you. I loved both of those revivals, and I thought Anything Goes, the choreography was terrific, but for me, How to Succeed was just a little bit cleverer. You were always watching every part of the stage because someone was doing something funny or clever during the dance numbers, and I had to give Rob Ashford props for that. I agree with you. I don't think he's going to win. I think Kathleen Marshall will have it for Anything Goes, but I'm 100% in agreement with you on this.
Now, you must say that in terms of choreography, the Book of Mormon was also quite interesting. Mm-hmm. Because of where it took place in Uganda, and the mixture of styles also worked there. So anyway, that's the choreography basically.
Okay.
For me. I'm a movement person, and when you throw in the athleticism that they did in How to Succeed, it was quite exciting to me.
Cool. Well, let's move on to best play.
I'm sorry.
Sorry?
You're crackling on my phone, but that's cool.
Oh, okay. That's just my voice. It has nothing to do with your telephone.
I didn't know you were getting that old.
I know. It happens to all of us.
I was the old guy.
Now, but how old are you? Are you 82? Richmond, can you hear me? Are you 82?
Yeah, I'm 82, but I taught a mime class this morning, which is extremely vigorous and strenuous, and for some reason I'm still dancing. I think the secret is you have to exercise a little all your life. I think geriatrics begins at 30.
30? I thought you'd say something like 90 or something like that. Okay.
You need this great body to ride around in, and you have to take care of it. You have to feed it, water it, rest it.
Nicely put. Let's move on to the best play category for the 2011 Tony Awards.
There's only one play that in this season would deserve to win, and that is War Horse, which is a theatrical masterpiece. I haven't seen anything like it. It's a spectacle you do not see in our time, where these horses are created by people with hair movement and stick puppetry under these figures of the horses. It's like a Max Reinhardt spectacle from the 1930s that I saw at the Hippodrome with real horses. It's magnificent.
Now, what do you say, Richmond, to some of the other critics that I've talked to?
I didn't hear what you said.
What do you say to some of the other critics that I've talked to today who say that the production is really exciting, but as a play, maybe not so great? Are you maybe conflating the play itself with the staging of it. Is that fair?
It's an entity. It has a simple story, a man's love for a horse, and but most of the stories are simple. You take this Jerusalem. The simple story is a trail of trash you're going to be thrown out of their home. That's the story.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the stories are pretty simple.
That's fair.
And to me, War Horse, as a total theatrical experience, and it is a play, it's not a musical, that's my choice.
Okay.
I mentioned Jerusalem, and there's another one, I don't know if I can use the full word, but let's say The M with the Hat.
Yeah.
In my review, I used the whole. Both of these plays are, to me, an anthropological study of a lower species as if through a glass. There's nobody on the stage in either of those plays as they scream, yell, and tear their throats apart at each other. The M with the Hat and Jerusalem. There's nobody on the stage you can identify with. There is nobody you can have empathy with, except maybe a moment in Jerusalem where the guy's ex-wife appears for a very short scene.
Mm-hmm.
So is it interesting? Yes, of course it is. So is the lizard house at the zoo. So is the monkey house at the zoo. Sure, that can be fascinating to watch this other species go through their antics and their conflicts, but
That's funny.
as I say, I don't like spending a lot of time with a guy roaring around the stage with his sweaty, huge belly sticking out, which he's scratching, and the M with the Hat, throat-tearing, screaming. I mean, you're not part of the action in either of those. You are not with them. You are removed from them. You're an observer, and yes, it is interesting.
Now, and I do want to bring up the other play in that category. It was my favorite of the season, Good People, which is about people. I mean, it's a human
Yes, it
play.
was. I liked that too. Interestingly, Jerusalem, M with the Hat, and the Book of Mormon all use scatological language. The words that are concepts, the verbal concepts that don't appear on Broadway are on Broadway. There was a fourth one, I don't remember which. There were four shows that say MF, and all kinds of, as I say, scatology jumping around on the stage. The other is Ghetto Clown, which is terrific, by the way.
The John Leguizamo piece, right?
Yeah, but it's interesting that four shows on Broadway are using that kind of language, which 10 or 20 years ago it would be inconceivable.
Well, maybe 10 or 20, 30 years ago, yeah. 10 or 20 years ago, they already were doing Mammoth.
20 years ago, no. There was a musical that used it for the first time. But the line has been crossed.
Oh yeah.
All the fences are down.
Yeah.
And you can say anything you want now. And it's interesting. The corollary in that in comedy is that I perform my stand-up mime act in clubs sometimes, and most of the comedians use the F word as an adjective. The F this and the F that, and I bought an F apple. Whereas, of course, some of us work clean.
Work clean. Well, I can't say I always work clean, but at least on this particular program, this episode of the show, I certainly am. Richmond Shepard, we only have a minute or two left, but can you tell us what's coming up at your own theater at the Richmond?
Well, I've got probably the most important, most interesting play of the time that I've produced and directed of, I don't know since when, in 5 years.
Wow.
It's called Oswald, and it's based on the actual interrogation of Lee Harvey Oswald by the Dallas police chief. And it's been running this is the second weekend. It's got one more weekend to go at the Richmond Shepard Theater on 26th and 2nd. And I've got a powerful professional cast of 8 playing 13 parts. And the Oswald and the Captain Fritz are stunning.
Wow.
Incidentally, I cast tall Texans in every part except Oswald, and we hope to move it to off-Broadway from my off-Broadway theater, and then, of course, to Broadway, and then the movie, and then the Academy Award. Other than that, we have no ambitions for Oswald. Anyone can go to Oswald the Play, www.oswaldtheplay, and you'll see what we're doing.
OswaldThePlay.com.
Oswald the Play.
At the Richmond Shepard Theater, it is a pleasure. Richmond has been a colleague and friend of mine for many, many years. We are co-publishers of Performing Arts Insider Theater Journal, which is still going strong, and you can find out more at performingartsinsider.com. And, of course, Richmond, doing the mime, teaching, running the theater, directing, still, thank God, going very, very strong for many, many
Mime
years.
has kept me alive and young.
That's wonderful. Richmond, thank you so much for being part of the show.
Thank you. All right. Talk to you tomorrow.
You get it. Bye-bye.